Have you ever felt the relentless mental strain of someone repeatedly showing up in your thoughts, uninvited? Maybe it's your former partner who still appears in your dreams, no matter how many years have passed. Perhaps it's someone who caused you deep emotional pain, whose image unexpectedly surfaces in your awareness at the most random moments. Or the coworker whose voice still lingers in your head long after the office lights go out. Why do these people take up so much space in our minds? Why do we relive memories we wish we could forget? There's a deeper explanation for why certain people remain lodged in our minds with such tenacity. Today, I'll introduce you to timeless insights from Zen Buddhism that shed light on this powerful mental pattern. These teachings, rooted in ancient wisdom but surprisingly aligned with the emotional challenges we face today, offer more than just insight. They provide a clear and practical path toward mental freedom. In this video, I will walk you through 7 powerful reasons that explain why someone has mentally taken up residence within you, and share Buddhist approaches that can finally help you release their lingering presence. Let's start. Reason 1: trapped by expectations, not reality. Buddhism teaches that a lot of our pain comes from holding on too tightly to what we want to happen instead of accepting what is. If someone is always on your mind, ask yourself, are you stuck thinking about a certain outcome? Maybe you're hoping for a romantic reunion, an apology, or for them to finally see your worth. George couldn't stop thinking about his ex. Every day he imagined them getting back together. In his head, he replayed conversations, dreamed of apologies, and pictured future dates. But none of it was real. What he wanted was closure or control. Only when George accepted that she had moved on did his thoughts slowly quiet down. He began to feel peace, not because he got what he wanted, but because he let go. This kind of mental holding creates a loop. Your thoughts go over the same what-if situations again and again. Instead of letting go, your mind keeps replaying how things could be, not how they are. Zen calls this a beginner's mind, meeting the present moment without old expectations. But when you're attached to a specific ending, your mind stays stuck in a story it keeps rewriting. The way forward, according to Buddhist wisdom, is to stop chasing that one outcome and to start accepting the truth of what's happening now, even if it's uncomfortable. Reason 2: something unfinished between you. When someone keeps popping into your thoughts, no matter how much time has passed, it may be a sign that something between you and that person is still not finished. In Buddhism, karma isn't about punishment or getting what you deserve. Instead, it's about completing emotional experiences that are still open, still raw, still needing your attention. Karma means there's a lesson you haven't fully learned yet, or a feeling you haven't processed. Sometimes the person hurt you, but you never really allowed yourself to feel the pain and move through it. Other times you may have caused them pain, and guilt is quietly lingering in the back of your mind. Or maybe they were part of a big life change, and something about that story still feels unfinished. This kind of deep connection can work like a magnet in your thoughts. No matter what you're doing, your mind keeps bringing them back. Not to torture you, but to tell you there's something important to face. Take Noah, for example. After breaking up with his partner 2 years ago, he still thinks about her almost every day. He doesn't want to, but her memory keeps returning. especially when he's alone. What Noah didn't realize is that he never processed the sadness and guilt he felt. His mind keeps circling back, not because he misses her, but because something inside him still needs healing. Buddhist teachings say that every relationship has a purpose. People we can't forget are often our most powerful teachers, even when the lessons are hard. Instead of trying to block the thought, pause and ask, what am I still avoiding? What emotion have I not fully felt? What truth about myself am I not ready to see? The real problem isn't that you keep thinking about them. The real message is why. That repeated thought is not a punishment. It's an invitation to grow, to heal, and to finally move forward. Reason 3. Seeing attachment as love. When a certain person repeatedly shows up in your thoughts, it's easy to assume it's because you care for them deeply or miss them with intensity. But Zen Buddhism urges us to make an essential distinction. Real love brings serenity. Clinging, on the other hand, stirs inner chaos. If thinking about this person leads to restlessness, envy, or an urge to constantly check up on them online, you're not experiencing unconditional love. You're caught in a web of emotional dependence. The Buddha taught that attachment is the core source of human suffering, and this truth is particularly visible in how we relate to others. Your mind keeps circling back to them not because your love is pure, but because you've tied your sense of identity, self-worth, or future joy to how they see you or whether they remain in your life. This emotional grip appears as relentless thoughts that won't give you peace. Look closely. Each time they enter your mind, there's likely a subtle undertow, a hunger for their approval, a fear of abandonment, or a longing to return to something that once was. This isn't the quiet warmth of genuine love. It's the emotional storm that comes from needing rather than giving. Zen teachers once likened attachment to grasping a burning coal with the intent of throwing it at another, but you're the one who gets scorched. Take Emma, for instance. After her co-worker Leo left the company, she found herself checking his social media constantly and replaying their last conversation in her head. She told herself it was love, but deep down she craved his validation. The unease she felt wasn't peace, it was anxiety. Emma wasn't in love with Leo. She was attached to how he made her feel about herself. If thinking about this person leaves you unsettled rather than comforted, what you're facing isn't love. It's attachment masquerading as love. Buddhist wisdom teaches that the way to freedom begins with this realization. Through the practice of loving kindness, a form of love that simply wishes others well without trying to hold or control, we begin to loosen our grip and reclaim our peace. Reason 4. It's not them, it's you. How projection fuels obsessive thinking. In both Zen Buddhism and psychology, there's a powerful idea. We all carry a hidden part of ourselves called the shadow. These are the traits we don't like to admit, parts we push away or ignore. Sometimes when someone keeps showing up in your thoughts, it's not really about them. It's about what they reflect back to you. Maybe it's their confidence that makes you think about them all the time. It could be that deep down, you want to be more confident yourself, but haven't allowed that part to come out. Or maybe you judge something about them that actually reminds you of a trait in yourself you haven't accepted. Take Mary, for example. Mary couldn't stop thinking about her sister-in-law. Every time they talked, Mary felt irritated by her strong opinions and bold way of speaking. After some reflection, Mary realized that she had always been afraid to speak her mind and often kept quiet to avoid conflict. Her sister-in-law wasn't the problem, she was a mirror. Once Mary recognized that she longed to express herself more freely, the constant thoughts began to fade. The more you understand what you're projecting, the less power the other person has in your mind. The path to peace often begins with seeing yourself clearly, even in someone else. This process is called projection. Your mind puts your hidden feelings or traits onto another person, almost like using them as a mirror or a screen. That's why they stay in your thoughts, not because of who they are, but because of what they reflect in you. Buddhist wisdom invites us to gently explore this by asking, what quality about this person stirs me up the most? Is there something in them that I've been avoiding in myself? Often, the person you can't stop thinking about is showing you something important about who you are, a part that wants to be seen, healed, or welcomed back. Reason 5. Believing things stay the same. In life, everything changes. This is one of the main ideas in Buddhism. Nothing stays the same forever. Not our feelings, not our thoughts, not our relationships. But when someone takes up a lot of space in our minds, we often forget this truth. We start to believe that how we feel about them will last forever. If someone hurt us, we think the pain will never go away. If we miss someone, we believe that longing will always stay just as strong. We may even believe that our connection with that person, whether good or bad, will never change. This is called the illusion of permanence. When we believe our thoughts and emotions are permanent, we give them more power. It feels like we're trapped in them. The truth is, our minds are always shifting. Just like the weather, our thoughts and feelings come and go. The pain of losing someone, the feeling of being lied to, the happy memories from the past. All of these are temporary. No matter how strong they feel in the moment, they won't last forever. When we begin to really understand this, we stop feeding those thoughts. They begin to loosen their hold on us. Aaron was deeply hurt when his best friend betrayed him. They had been close for years, like brothers. But one day, Aaron found out that his friend had lied to him and broken his trust. At first, Aaron couldn't stop thinking about it. The anger and sadness felt endless. Every day, he replayed the betrayal in his mind. But over time, things started to shift. The pain didn't disappear all at once, but little by little it became quieter. He started focusing on other parts of his life, his work, his family, his hobbies. One day he realized he hadn't thought about the betrayal in weeks. Aaron didn't forget what happened, but he no longer felt stuck in it. He had moved forward because he understood that even the strongest feelings change. They don't last forever. Buddhism teaches us to notice this change. If we pay attention, we can see that even the deepest sadness or anger is not fixed. It fades over time. This is not just something we tell ourselves to feel better. It is a real truth about life. As a Zen saying goes, this too will change. This isn't meant to be a cliché or something to ignore the pain. It's a reminder that change is always happening, even inside our minds. Reason 6. A karmic bond not yet released. In Buddhism, there is a belief that some people come into our lives for a special reason. They are part of our spiritual path. These people may be here to help us grow or to teach us something important. even if the experience is painful or confusing. Sometimes when we can't stop thinking about someone, it may mean that our journey with them isn't fully complete. Even if they are no longer in our lives, their presence in our thoughts could be a sign that we haven't finished learning what we were meant to learn from them. This idea goes beyond everyday thoughts or emotions. It asks us to look at the situation in a more spiritual way. Instead of asking, "Why can't I forget them?" you can ask something deeper like, "What if this person's memory is here to help me grow? What if their presence in my mind has a purpose?" Rose lost her mother after a long illness. Even months later, she couldn't stop thinking about her. The sadness felt heavy, and the memories came daily. At first, Rose tried to block the thoughts, thinking she needed to move on, but nothing worked. Then she began to ask herself, "What is this grief trying to show me?" Over time, she realized her mother's memory was guiding her toward deeper compassion and appreciation for life. Instead of feeling stuck in pain, Rose began to grow. Her mother's presence in her heart became a quiet teacher, still helping her from beyond. Buddhist teachings say that the hardest experiences often help us grow the most. The people we struggle with or miss deeply may actually be helping us reach a new level of understanding, strength, or peace. Rather than fighting the thoughts or trying to erase someone from your mind, you can pause and ask, what lesson might be hidden in this? What is this thought showing me? When you do this, something changes. The person is no longer just someone who hurt you or someone you miss. They become part of your journey, someone whose presence is helping you wake up, understand more, and grow as a person. In Buddhism, this is a shift from seeing people only as sources of joy or pain, to seeing them as mirrors that show us what we need to see within ourselves. Reason 7. Believing your thoughts are who you are. One of the most important ideas in Buddhism is this: you're not your thoughts. But when someone is always on your mind, it's easy to forget that. You may start to believe that every thought about them is important, real, and says something true about you. Instead of seeing thoughts as just passing through, like clouds in the sky, you treat them as facts. You think, "I miss them," and instead of noticing the thought, you believe it completely. This makes the thought stronger. The more you focus on it, the more it shows up. And the more it shows up, the more real it feels. This creates a loop that's hard to break. Jessica keeps replaying a fight she had with her coworker. Every time she thinks, "They don't like me," she feels anxious and upset. The thought feels real and heavy, making her avoid work and lose focus. One day, during a mindfulness exercise, Jessica notices the thought and says to herself, "This is just a thought, not a fact." She imagines watching the thought float by like a notification on her phone that she doesn't have to open. Slowly, the thought loses its power, and Jessica feels more relaxed and able to focus on what really matters. Buddhism teaches that thoughts are just thoughts. They come and go. You don't have to follow them or believe them. One way to break the loop is through mindfulness. This means learning to notice your thoughts without getting caught in them. For example, instead of thinking, "I miss them," and feeling sad right away, you can pause and say to yourself, "I notice a thought about missing them." That small change helps you take a step back. It creates space between you and the thought. In that space, you can breathe and feel a little more free. Zen teachers say this is like standing on the riverbank, watching your thoughts float by, instead of jumping into the river and being swept away. Now, let's explore the Buddhist path that leads to freedom from persistent thoughts, offering ways to gently release them and find peace within the ever-changing flow of the mind. 1. Learn to let go by accepting. The Buddha said that letting go isn't something you force. It happens naturally when you stop holding too tightly. Instead of trying to forget the person, accept that they are in your thoughts, but try to loosen your grip on the feelings and meanings you attach to them. Imagine holding a stone in your hand. You can hold it gently without squeezing too hard. This is how you can hold your thoughts without grasping them tightly. 2. Practice mindful watching. When thoughts about this person come up, don't try to push them away or feel bad for having them. Instead, gently watch these thoughts like you would watch leaves floating down a slow river. Notice the thought, but don't get caught up in its story or feelings. In Zen Buddhism, there's a saying, "What you fight stays. What you watch without getting involved changes." This means if you fight the thought, it sticks around. But if you simply observe it calmly, it will start to lose its power. 3. Use your thoughts to return to now. When the person appears in your mind, see it as a signal to come back to the present moment. Buddhist practice suggests using these moments to become more aware of now, instead of fighting the thought. Try this. Take a deep, calm breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice where you are right now. Over time, the person who once trapped your mind can become a doorway to calmness and presence. 4. Look closer with kindness. Ask yourself gently, why does this person keep coming to mind? Is there something you are holding on to? Is there a lesson you need to learn? Don't judge yourself for these feelings. Buddhism teaches that real understanding comes from being curious and kind to yourself, not from being harsh or critical. When you find the reason, don't rush to get rid of it. Just see it with a kind heart. This awareness helps you slowly heal and change. 5. Practice loving kindness meditation. Another powerful tool in Buddhism is metta meditation, which means sending kind wishes to yourself, the person in your thoughts, and all living beings. This changes the feelings from pain or anger to kindness and peace. Start with yourself. May I be free from suffering. May I find peace. Then send the same wish to the person. May they be free from suffering. May they find peace. Think of your mind as a river and the person in your thoughts as a stone tossed into it. At first, the water splashes, ripples form, and everything feels disturbed. If you fight the waves, things only get more unsettled. But if you let the river keep flowing, the water calms down. The stone either settles quietly at the bottom or gets carried away. In the same way, if you stop resisting your thoughts and let them pass naturally, peace returns. You don't have to force anything. Just trust that your mind knows how to heal with time and awareness. Thank you for watching. If someone keeps showing up in your thoughts, know you're not alone. And you're not broken. The Buddhist path teaches us we can find peace not by forcing thoughts away, but by meeting them with awareness, compassion, and curiosity. Healing doesn't come all at once, but with practice, the mind softens. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this message. Leave a comment if any part resonated with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, may you be free, may you find peace, and may you gently let go.